Just a short video. Just playing in the sandbox. That's all, just playing in the sandbox. My grandmother came out of the box, came out of the hole, the rabbit's tail, the rabbit's legs, the cottontail, the bunny ears, all connected to Maine. I spoke about Titanic the other day and how there was a switch with Queen Mary. I spoke about Prince Charles, is that his name? Being a 9/11 corner of Connecticut. Queen Mary, my grandmother. Mary, she's my queen. 2 nights ago, my father was here in the middle of the night. He was here in my dreams. I put my hands on his shoulder and I asked him, "Why are you here? What is wrong?" He says, "It's sad. Your mother's alone." I understood it as him saying, "I am alone." And today, my brother tells me, my grandmother went back into the hospital. The doctor asked her, "What year is it?" The doctor asked her, "Can you count down from 100, starting by minusing 7 at a time?" Minusing 7, the 7th gate, down to 93, Herbert Hoover, over Hoover Dam. My grandmother thinks it's 1973. She thinks it's autumn. She looks outside, she sees the snow, but 5 seconds later when the question is asked, she still thinks it's autumn. She remembers my name, and she still says to me, "Are you making a buck to get on by?" That was quite interesting. "Is your son, Donovan, going to school?" She remembered my name, my son, and you know what really freaks me out the most? Is she asked me, she says, "How long are you and your wife still married?" And my ex-wife has to step in and say to her, "We're not married. We never were married." But usually it would sort of upset her, but this time it just like went on by, and 5 seconds later she asked the same question. "How long are you married?" Well, it seems like the only woman I ever hang around with is my ex-wife. So in some ways we are married. The only woman I ever help out is my wife. Although she may see different, that's okay. My book cannot end with my grandmother dying. My book won't end into the next chapter until the end of 2014. My grandmother wants to go. She says, "Let me go down so I can rise and go up." Again to the Queen Mary. Prince Charles, age of 64, he wants to take over the throne. Another Queen Mary. One in Europe, one is here. Christ was here, Mary Magdalene, and Mary his mother, Mary Joanna, marijuana. Marvin Gardens, kosher foods. Another 9/11 corner connected specifically to Pacific. I walk into the office today, and the chief at the office mentions 4 places that the boss went out for new sales. North Carolina, Boston, and a various amount of places, but they all connected to monopoly. We're coming down to the grinding times in the monopoly game. My grandmother wants to go down only to go up. She's not sad, but she feels lonely when she starts to remember. But she's not lonely because somebody and someone is always there. But again, to be able to do nothing, she recognizes that and doesn't want to be her anymore, and doesn't notice that when she goes, everybody cries, even if she's going to be 100. It's still very sad. Sometimes I used to think many years ago, what if this happens and what if that happens? What am I going to get? But I'm not interested in getting anything. First of all, if I do get anything, within 5 years, I have nothing. I can't explain the situation for certain reasons. So whatever money I would get, no good to me. Another thing, the money is good to me. Why? Because I asked God, I made a little prayer, I need a little help to finish off my book and I need some money. But this is not the way I need money. I'm putting this out not as a book, and I'm putting it out online for the reason that if this book ever comes out, we'll be taken over and no one will ever be able to buy my book because it'll be just like in Auschwitz, 1940. Same thing. It's 72 years plus the next year since 1940. 72 times 5 degrees, or every 20 minutes, the movement of 5 degrees is 360 degrees. But like I spoke, 360 degrees is surround sound. But it's not. Because to make 360, the Earth moves forward. So it's not 360. You have to count this going around. It has to make the whole week. According to the way I see it, okay, it's 6 days that we must go around, 6 and 1. Why? It's 3. 1 day is in the center, it's a trap, and then 3, because the 3's end up on the points. Because on your telephone, 1 and 3, opposite of each other, each one meets the point. So to go around would actually be, we're going to use it as 6 days to go around. Each day is 360. 6 by 3 is 1800. 6 by 60 is 360, is 2160. 2160 is the representation of the number 4. 60 is a representation of the number 4, and 21 is a representation of 7. It becomes 74. If you add up all the numbers in roulette, the center is 74. Christ and the cross, 74. Crisscross. 97 is also the crisscross, as well as the angle of 17 and 39. When they asked my grandmother what year it was, she said 1973. Those are the 4 odd numbers that fit in the corner and total the 20 worlds. 2 times 0 is 30. 2 plus 0 is 2, equaling to 32. 3 and 2 is 5. That's what it takes to go around. It takes 4 positions to go around in roulette. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. 32, 23, 14, and 5 are all centers. They total 74. Where else can I go with this? That when you back up, okay, when you back up, 74 minus 16 is 58, which is a representation of the word count of 2 in gematria, or 1, 10, 19, and 28, which is in the 1 position of the 36 numbers in the count of numerological alphanumeric count that comes up in gematria, but I add definitions to it. Just like they come up with definitions, I too have my own definitions. The new world of the night, 4128. You ever say G night or good night? The other thing I came up with today is I was doing a little bit of welding, and my machine is a Lincoln Electric. Lincoln, elect, trick. The trick was Lincoln's election. What went on in Lincoln's connection of the election? Who are Mount Rushmore between the sisters of Wyoming going up? Is it South Dakota or North Dakota where the faces are? Lincoln elect, George Washington. From his birthday creation from 1776 is 16 years. Did they not put in the first president in 1789, which is exactly 13 years after 1776? 16 years was the birthday, and 3 years was to put in his happy birthday as a new holiday in the U.S., recreation. Now I can go on and on and on, but I have to look for my phone that I lost in my house. I'm hoping I went through my garbages properly. New York, NY. The York is new. The new is the York. There's 2 of them. New York, letter N, 14. 1 and 4 is 5. Y is the 25th. 2 and 5 is 7. The reflection is 5775, which is part of the reflection of 1776 and the Hebrew New Year, which is again next year, month of October. Because anything that adds up stops at number 19, 10 and 9. Then we go to 20, we go 20, then 9. Then we go to 30, and 30 stops at 6. 3 and 6 makes the 9, and that's the totality. 36 plus the 1, because we began. 36 plus 1 is 37, which is the division of the center of roulette, 16, 19, 35, 17, 20, 37, and 18 and 21, 39. The average is 37. 37 times 2 is 74. We get back to the center. 47, which is 7 by 5, and 7 plus 5 is 47. The reflection of each is the total of 121, which is 1111. At the same time, 47 reversed, or doubled, is 94. Into the birth world, which is 940. 940 plus 475, which is half, equals 2350, and that's when Moses was born. 2350 plus 1410, do you remember I'm talking one-for-one access, 1410, which is our DNA, the sandbox? That's when apparently Christ was born, but according to my figures, he was born in 3757, which is 3757, okay? The 57 is a reflection of the 75, and again, we're back to 75, which is the football field, which is starting at the kickoff line of the 35, and if you kick it out, you kick it out past the 75 yards later into the end zone and outside of the end zone. As man can stretch his arms and grab it in the air, as long as his 2 feet are in, it's 75 yards. Don't forget, the point of the egg is the point of every situation, because when you play football, once the point of the football has crossed the line, you are in, even if it's inches. We'll keep it short for now. Raphael, in the constellation of Pegasus, this book here and this sign here shows 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why? Because one's in the game and one's not. It says 75, 70, 7, 5, 7, and then you have the diamonds in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. 51 or 510, and I can get into this too. 510 from the year 6776 equals to 7286, 510. 51 times 0 is 76.5. 76 and the 0.5. Now multiply 76 times 5, it equals to 38, which is the connecting 3 pigs. In my dream last night, apparently the pussy stank. I'm not talking about a girl's pussy. It's the circle of life. And it stank because he's a she, and in French, the skunk is a belle puante. Pou, okay, is your heartbeat. Aunt is who we are. The ants. At the same time, belle means beautiful, and it stinks. We were leaving on spaceships and rocket ships that came out of the earth and enveloped us or covered us around and became little houses. Like little houses. We floated into the sky and we met each other, but we kept going up and down and up and down, and it seemed very scary. But anyways, the reflection of, or we're going to go back to this side for a second. Oh no, I just wanted to do one more thing. When you count this side and then you count this side, 51 and 51, that totals out to 102, which is a representation of Valentine, and the card count in blackjack. And at the same time, if I can get this up here, see number 51, 15 on there, and then 32 and 19 is 51. At the same time, 51, 15 is also 66. This is the way. And I'm out. Raphael, in the codes of the radio, 10-4 of 7286. I thank you. And I don't want my grandmother to go. I really don't. I don't, because she goes and that separates everything. Even though she doesn't go out of the house, her sister's living across from her in the home that's taking care of her. And her other sister is taking care of herself in Florida. And her brother is taking care of himself down in Ottawa. And they're all over 90. I think if she would drink more water, she doesn't drink enough. She needs to make the flow in the mind go. That's what I think. Okay? But, no, I don't want her to go. No, of course not. I don't, because even though I don't go visit her enough, she's my little Miss Sunshine. The other thing to think about is the apple and bobbing for apples. Well, in Hebrew, we all call our grandmothers Bubby, or how about Bob? Bobbing for apples. When the apple dies, we know what's going to happen. The prince comes in to awaken the fair lady. That means if my grandmother dies and Prince Charles takes over the throne, definitely Nibiru, or whatever you want to call it, is going to come in from somewhere else, and we're going to rectify what's going on Earth. But we still must learn. We see, we hear, we learn little things that are going on, but we still haven't learned deep in the heart what it's all about to be associated hand in hand in the world of peace. Thank you.